Endeacott, and I'm here to have a chat in the Peacock pub, South Leeds, with Anthony Clavane, who's just got a new book out, a brilliant new book called Does Your Rabbi Know You're Here? This is Anthony Clavane, good old mate anyway, great writer. Tell us about the book, please, Anthony. Tell us about yourself as well.
Well, the first thing to say, it's a kind of continuation of Promised Land. For Promised Land, I wrote about Leeds United, but I also wrote about the city of Leeds and the north and writers from Leeds. But there was also a bit in it about the community I'm from, which is a Jewish community, and how that community became so involved in Leeds United and intensely supported Leeds during the glory years of Don Revie. When I wrote this book, a lot of people thought, you know, we really like it, but what about the rest of England? And what about, I don't know, Spurs is the obvious one. What about Arsenal? And I was commissioned to write a book about the whole of English football, from the beginning of English football in the late 19th century to today, to look at how the Jewish community were the first migrants to change English football, because nowadays we have a very multicultural football scene, and I think that's great. All sorts of cultures, all sorts of groups, but I think the Jewish community were the first to have an impact as a kind of foreign community on English football. And as the Jews became less foreign and more English, like, you know, today nobody would say, oh yeah, you're Jewish, aren't you? You know, I wanted to sort of reflect the journey that my community had taken, a journey of integration into English society through football, which I think very strongly, when it gets such bad publicity, is such kind of a good way of migrant communities fitting in.
Yeah. So you said Jewish players change football.
Yeah.
Do you mean players, or do you mean at boardroom level and things like that?
Well, both actually. But there is this famous joke. Actually, before I tell the famous joke, I mean, this book should be, according to some people, the shortest book in the world. If it's a book about players, because it's supposed to be, you know, notoriously true that Jewish people don't play football, or, you know, when have you last seen a Jewish footballer? You know, Airplane, the film, when this chap on the plane says, "Can I have a very light read, please?" Because I want to. And the stewardess brings him this leaflet, book of famous Jewish sports legends, and that always gets a big laugh. And it is funny, and it's like, yeah, well, what do you mean, Jews don't do sport? Well, actually, having researched it, and I've spent a year doing it, it's been played for 100 years, both at amateur and professional level, and there's a secret history of Jewish involvement, and there's a reason why people don't know about Jewish players. Partly it's about the anti-Semitism that was around in the 20th century, but partly it's about the Jewish people themselves not wanting to be known as Jewish. So what I was having, it's like a double whammy. You know, trying to find lots of Jewish players, I was coming up against this problem, and I found a lot of Jewish players, a lot more than you think. However, you're also right that at boardroom level there's Jewish involvement. However, it's not just boardroom, it's Jewish fans, you know, Jewish administrators, Jewish agents, I suppose, Jewish hangers-on, Jewish doctors, Jewish lawyers, Jewish accountants.
Jewish hooligans?
Yes, there is one actually.
Only one?
There's one, I found one, but yeah.
Did he continue?
And then he's now an opera singer.
That makes sense. So obviously you said it's the follow-up to Promised Land. Do you want to tell us a bit about Promised Land, which I have read? And Promised Land, for anyone who doesn't know, how you don't know, I don't know, because it was so well pushed and promoted. But Promised Land won the Best Sports Book of the Year award last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, in a way, I think it is a fantastic book, and I genuinely mean that, and I really enjoyed reading it. But that award sort of detracts from it in a little way for me, because it's not just a sports book.
No. Well, the kind of books that I write and that you write, I mean, we use football in a way as a way into other issues, I think. You know, it's a bit like Dirty Leeds. I mean, you're writing as much about the city and your upbringing, and it's sort of based on you. a bit, and it's the same with me. In Promised Land, it was partly a memoir about growing up in Leeds, not this part of Leeds.
I'll let you off.
But I always fantasised about this part of Leeds. I mean, to me, it's still exciting today. I've been round the stadium with my little boy, and it's still amazing to me that I used to dream about living in Beeston, you know, wanting to live in Beeston because I'd be able to see into the ground
On the doorstep, yeah.
on the doorstep and see the players in that fish and chip shop, which is still there, isn't it? And when I was living in North Leeds, during the summer holiday, every day I would come into Elland Road, every single day, and watch them train. But you could watch Bremner, Giles, Charlton, Hunter Madeley, Clark. You know, you could watch them all for free for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
There weren't that many other people there. Get their autographs, talk to some of them, and you know, I still can't believe how good that was. And that was, I mean, can you imagine that happening with Wayne Rooney or John Terry today? Obviously not.
Definitely not Elland Road.
Not Elland Road. You
We wouldn't want them.
You wouldn't want them, but you wouldn't go to their Cheshire gated communities and you'd knock on the door, you'd buzz them and the intercom would. So you wouldn't get that. And I wanted to reflect in the book how great that was to be alive at that time and to be part of that. When I say part of it, I think as a fan, my whole family loved it. We always knew, you know, Don Reevy's best friend was my uncle. It was always that kind of thing. And actually, Don Reevy lived around the corner from me.
I'm laughing when you say Reevy because we've had a long discussion.
Yeah.
Many
See, now I
times.
can't win. I deliberately say the right pronunciation, and I'll get laughed at. I get laughed at for saying Revy, and I've said Reevy, and he still laugh at me.
I'm laughing with you, mate. Laughing with you.
Thank you. But Don, lived across the road, unbelievably. I lived in Scotland Road. It was, you know, it was a kind of like lower middle class area. And then the further you moved up to the more middle class, and then All Woodley area where Don Reevy moved, which was Manny Cousin's house. Yeah. I used to go and knock on his door then and ask for his autograph, but I still can't believe that Don lived across the road from me. Astonishing, really. And I grew up not just, you know, a fan, but in love with Leeds, and that love has stayed with me. But I've moved on, and I've, you know, done many things since then. I've left Leeds. I've been a teacher. I'm now a sports journalist. But I wanted to, as I entered middle age, to reflect a great moment in my life, and try and make a point not just about my life, but about how Britain had changed socially and culturally in the 20 to 30 years since I'd left Leeds. And therefore, you're right, it's not just about sport, it's actually about the way the North has changed, the way Leeds has changed, the way writers from Leeds or writers from Yorkshire have changed. And I tried to connect so many different things that my editor said I was mad in a way. He said, you'll never pull it off because it's too ambitious, you've got too many themes. And I still wanted to do it. And I'm so pleased that people sort of say, yeah, we like the way you connected Keith Waterhouse, who lives, you know, who's from Middleton, and Billy Lyer with the story of Leeds United. I mean,
Billy Bremner.
Yeah, Billy. You know, had two big things I liked. Billy, you know, two Billys, but there was a Billy Bremner side, Billy Lyer, and to me, there was a big connection between the two. But I don't think many people had seen that connection or thought about it before.
That's a good point. I think Billy Lyer probably got me into writing, I think. That or watching Kes the film, but anyway. You mentioned that you're in sports journalism now. For anyone out there who's interested perhaps in getting into journalism, would you have any advice for them? Sports journalism specifically, I suppose.
There is one word answer to that, which I won't. No, it's such a difficult time to get into sports journalism. I cannot think of any worse time. And I don't want to sound discouraging, because I do get a lot of people asking me this, and I say the only way to do it is to, you know, write now, get involved in blogs, get involved in websites, write yourself.
Find your own voice.
Find your voice, and then keep, I mean, the 3 Ps, which are, you know, persevere, persevere, persevere.
I thought the 3 L's were location, 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 but in fact we all know it's Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Tell us then, basically, I think the crux of the matter is, great book, but it's only just come out, so it needs promoting. So can you tell us where can we get it?
Thank you very much. Yeah, you can get it in Waterstones and in Leeds. You can get it at the independent bookshops. You can get it all around Leeds, but I think that the Leeds United bookshop, I've just been in there, haven't got it. So I'm going to the match tonight. We might have a word.
That might change the mind. Never know. Okay, mate. Thanks,
Thanks, Rob. Thanks.